The Selective Service website crashed over the weekend because so many people were going to look up answers about a U.S. draft. And there's a lot of misinformation out there, like sites falsely trying to make you pay to register and claims you can't go to college without signing up. We're breaking down the facts, not to add any anxiety, but to let you know what's really going on. First off, we don't have a draft right now. We haven't had an open draft in the U.S. since 1973. A draft itself is when U.S. citizens are actively being called and enlisted in the military without volunteering. It requires an act of Congress. Both houses would have to vote to pass it, and the president would have to sign off on it. Now, if that did happen, which again hasn't occurred since Vietnam, that doesn't just mean men and women would start being drafted left and right. In fact, women wouldn't be drafted at all. As the law stands right now, only men would be drafted. And in the U.S., all men between 18 and 25 are legally required to register. That's where these memes came from. Many posters commenting that they registered for the draft by applying for a FAFSA student loan. And that's actually true. To qualify for FAFSA or any federal aid, a male U.S. citizen does have to be registered with the Selective Service system. Now, you can do it on a FAFSA application when you get your driver's license or just mailing your form in. Bottom line, it's a requirement. And failure to register is actually a felony. But registering for a draft isn't an actual draft. The Selective Service has a list of eligible people, but Congress would have to declare war and they'd have to legally instate a draft before they could use that list. At that point, the men, 18 to 25, who registered with Selective Service could be drafted, but it's not a guarantee. According to the Selective Service, an actual draft would use a lottery system to call registered men. They'd then have to pass a series of physical and mental tests to be considered. Now, we understand the concern that comes anytime someone starts talking about a draft, but it's important to remember we haven't had one in more than 45 years, and it would take multiple acts of Congress before people would even start getting called. With your Verify, I'm Jason Puckett.